Hey, JC here again. Day 3, or 20 days left till the diagnosis. So another 24 hours have gone by since my last video. And I'm starting to think, like, should I share the challenge that I'm facing with other people? Family, friends, and what would be the purpose of doing that? Is it going to benefit them in any way? No way. Everybody's got their own challenges in their life and their own problems. For me to lump on my problems for them to feel bad about it, there's nothing they can do, you know? And so you might say, well, you would feel better, John. So, would I feel better? And why do I need to feel better? I mean, this is my challenge that I'm going through. And I don't want other people to feel bad about it. So I don't want to get something from somebody and it costs them something emotionally. So what I'm doing is just sort of going inside and fulfilling these needs myself. How do I do that? Well, I've been into meditation for a long time, so meditation is one way that I do it. The other thing is feeling connected to everything. If you have this feeling of connection, then that makes a big difference. I feel connected to life, I feel connected to the world, I feel connected to the energy that could heal me. If I stay in that space, that right brain, I think that there's a chance that everything will be fine. And if I get the diagnosis and it wasn't cancer, then hey, it's a good place to hang out on that right side of your brain. So, I talked about yesterday knowing what it is that you actually want in your life, to have an effortless life and have things manifested into your life. Knowing exactly what you want, which are feelings. And I think the ultimate feeling is love. And so, once you know that that's what you're working for, the question becomes how to get it. Okay? And I actually think that there's sort of 3 schools of thought from me of how people can build the life that they want or have the things that they want come into their life. And that can be material things as well. A job, a person that you care about, everything that it is that we get up every day to have. So I think there's 3 ways you can do it. One is, and I use the analogy of building a house. Say you want to build this beautiful house called your life. So you go to the store, the hardware store, and you buy a screwdriver and a saw and a hammer and some nails, and you can build this house. Could you build it that way? Absolutely. But it'd take a lot of effort and a lot of time. So what's a better way to do it? Well, you could actually get power tools. Go back to the hardware store, buy an electric screwdriver, electric saw, all these electric tools. Now you can build the house, and it takes less time and less effort. Right? But my belief is there's actually a 3rd way. And that would be similar to hiring a contractor to build your house for you. So you can get the contractor, hire them to build the house. You give them your plan, right? And you go away. And then you show up one day, your house is built, and they hand you the keys. Now this is what I think is possible in life. And you've seen people, it seems like they have the luck of the Irish, they say, you know? But everything they do, they come out smelling like a rose. Everything seems to work, okay? They're in this flow. You want to be in the flow? I'll tell you how it goes, okay? You have to have a set of beliefs, okay? One is, I really truly believe that if you look towards nature, you look to nature, nature is an example of how the universe is working. People interfere with this natural flow. Okay? We seem to be screwing it up through our greed and wanting greed and power. Okay? But if you actually look at the universe and look at nature, and you could actually emulate your life in that flow. And the Tao, Chinese philosophy, this is what they've talked about. And the Tao, the book of the Tao has been translated more times than the Bible. It's been around much longer than the Bible. And there's a reason for that, because it seems to make sense. Everything it says makes sense. Okay? So if you look at nature, and we want to emulate nature, well, what would we do? What would we see? Well, everything in nature creates some kind of value for the whole. Okay? So, the sun creates light, photosynthesis for the plants, creates oxygen. Everything here fits into the bigger picture in a way that it creates value. Even maggots and flies break down dead, decaying material. Creates value. Okay? So people, do we create value? Absolutely. But usually, we try and get a lot of reciprocation in the forms of money or love or something for doing what we do. Okay? So we want to be paid for creating value. Does the sun want to get paid? Do the plants want to get paid for creating oxygen? What in nature wants to get paid? Nothing. Except one, man. Well, you say, JC, you know, we got to have toilet paper, you know? How are we going to get toilet paper? We got to have money. We got to buy things. Got to have clothes. We got to buy things. Well, some of this stuff could be given to you by creating value. But if you want money, how about if you just created more value than what you asked in return? In other words, figure out what it is that isn't work for you and go out and create value. But you can create value in so many different ways. In a checkout counter, when the cashier is just scanning stuff and she's in that normal zone, you know, not paying attention, and it's just a repetitive task. Break her state. Say something really nice. Make her smile, or him. Do something kind for people with nothing expected in return. This is all value. So if your life becomes of creating value, then all of a sudden now you're doing what everything else in the universe does. You're creating value for the whole. Now as a result of that, your contractor will bring into your life what it was that you asked for. Why? Because the bigger picture here, whatever's creating this, in charge, whatever you want to call it, and you can call it lots of things, people do call it lots of things, but it's going to help support what's supporting it. Does that make sense? Anything that's not of value gets eliminated. It's either assimilated or eliminated. And that's been throughout history of time. When something's no longer of use, it's eliminated. In your body, if you don't take in a nutrient that you can use in some form or fashion, it's eliminated. Your body doesn't even use it, tries to get rid of it. Well, the universe is going to do that too. So we got to be creating value. Now the key is, don't create value because you wanted those things. That breaks the flow. You need to create value because it's the right thing to do. It's what you're here to do. You're here to create value for the bigger picture. Now, the way to do that, a lot of people say, well, if I give my time, my money, my effort, everything, I'll have less. And that's true if you don't have the connection to what you're creating value for. Like right now, I'm creating these videos, and I feel the connection. Even though you're not in front of me, I feel the connection to you, and I feel like how this can help people. So yeah, it takes my time, my effort, and everything, but I really feel like I'm creating some kind of value, and I feel it because of my connection to you, my connection to all people, my connection to the world. So I feel that I'm giving something. Now, will something come back? Maybe yes, maybe no. Maybe those hugs I asked for will come back, you know? That to me brings love into my life. Maybe in some way it'll be monetized, or people will ask me to come speak, or whatever. But that's not why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because of the connection between me and you. This is a value to me because it's a value to you. So you got to keep that sense of connection to everything. People have lost the connection. People don't feel connected to anything anymore. This is a problem. Because then we're on our little island and we're only trying to get things for our little island. When you're here to create value, you're creating value for the big island, the big picture. And if you feel like you benefited, see, if you have that feeling like you're connected to everything, why can I move my little finger? Because I know there's a connection between my brain and my finger. What happens if I felt I was connected to everything? And they've actually proven that you are connected to everything. You have radioisotope study shows that there's atoms in me from everything that's ever been on this earth previously. So I am literally, physically connected to everything. Okay? So if I feel like I have this connection to everything, and I feel like I'm connected to everything, just like I feel like I'm connected to my finger, what else can I move? So by creating value, by creating value and being connected to what I'm creating value for, then I feel like I'm ultimately giving it back to myself, because I'm part of the whole. I'm part of you. We're all breathing the same air. We're all coming from the same place. So if I actually feel like I'm giving to the whole, then ultimately who am I giving to? I'm giving to myself. So I've already benefited just from feeling good by doing it. When I do something good, when I create value, I feel good, because I feel like even though I am doing it outwardly, I'm also doing it for myself. That's what makes this thing work. Knowing what it is you want. Emulating nature with your connection to everything and creating value. And we'll talk about what the results of that will be. It's phenomenal. Everything you want will come into your life. Everything you ask for will come. So, this was day 3. This was my video for today. I hope it's been helpful. Now, how does that affect your health? We've been talking about health. Well, if you stay in that space of just creating value and feeling these great feelings coming in, aren't those the feelings I talked about, I think, in the first video? Where you're creating interferon, interleukin, because your connection to everything, you're savoring the moment. You're savoring this connection to the water, to plants, to people, to the food, everything. Savor every moment that you have left. Okay? And the answer to what I asked before, should I talk to people? Yeah, I am going to talk to people and let them know how grateful I am to have had them in my life. Even people that I might have had a problem with, I'm going to connect with and say, look, maybe we had a challenge before, but I want you to know you're still a very special person in my life. Because I know it'll be of value to them, and because of that, it'll make me feel good as well. So I hope this has been helpful. See you on day 4. As they say in Thailand, Sawadee Krap. Goodbye.